In this video, we are going to cover the research paper of vision transformers. The original topic of the paper is an image is worth 16 by 16 words, transformers for image recognition at scale. Image recognition is a fundamental problem in computer vision, and convolutional neural networks are the dominant architecture which have shown great success in solving the problems of computer vision, mainly classifications and segmentation tasks. However, CNNs are computationally expensive and cannot capture global dependencies, and because of that we cannot have a contextual understanding in images. Now, transformers are a different kind of architectures which are completely differentiable machines and have shown great success in natural language processing applications. And unique thing about transformers is that it has a component of self attention with which it can handle temporal data very well, and can give analysis based on how data is varying over time. Why we should care about transformers in image recognition? The reason being that transformers has a very good generalization ability, and it can model long range dependency in the data because of its self attention component and how it handles the temporal behavior of the data. Also, it is completely end to end differentiable machine. And the fourth one being is the scalability of transformers. Some of the large language models that we have right now is literally trained on the entire internet as its data set. So it shows that the scalability component of transformers is very good. Now, there have been some prior works which try to integrate the component of self attention with CNNs, and there have been some work which try to replace the convolutional layers entirely with transformers. However, none of the work until this paper was released was able to achieve state of the art or comparably good results as compared to the CNN models like ResNets. Now, the authors wanted to try the original transformer model, which showed great success in NLP problems, and they wanted to try the original architecture without much modifications. So the approach that they took is novel in a way that it demonstrates that a large scale pre-training of a vanilla transformer makes it competitive or even better when compared to their performance with some of the state of the arts convolutional neural networks. And the approach that they use is that they basically take an image, and then they split the image into multiple patches, and then these patches are given a position embedding so that the transformer model can understand where these patches belong, what is the sequence in which they are in the data, and then this entire positional encoded data is passed on to the transformer encoder. The encoder, as we can see on the right image, it does have a multi-head attention layer, and there are some skip connections, and the output of the transformer model is given to a multi-layer perceptron head. This is the classification head which takes in the input from the transformer encoder and gives us the final output as to which class the input image belongs to. How large scale pre-training of vanilla transformers make it competitive when compared to CNNs? So here the authors are talking about the transformer encoder model. So what they mention is that if we take a transformer encoder and we train it on a sufficiently high data set, then because of the inherent nature in which transformers learn the model, these can generalize well over other data sets. That means if we take a transformer model and we train it on sufficiently high data set, then that same transformer model can be used as a transformer encoder for doing certain type of classification tasks, which gives it an edge over existing CNN models, which are very specific when it comes to their training and testing. The only thing that needs to be changed is the MLP head, because depending on how many classes we want to classify the data into, this MLP head will change. More details about how the MLP head is decided and what is the actual architecture of MLP head is given in the paper in detail. So that is the entire concept of vision transformers. Now, to compare the results, the authors chose two baselines. First is called the big transfer, which is basically a very large ResNet, and the second is noisy student, and this was the state of the art on ImageNet dataset. And while comparison, the authors showed that their ViT actually performs better than most of the CNNs and comparable to some of them on many datasets. The author selected three different types of, or three different sizes of the architecture. First is called the base, second is the large and huge, depending on the number of layers that they have. And in the comparison table here, if we see that the model outperforms the existing VIT and noisy students on all the data sets, and actually gives pretty good result when compared to the existing models, which shows that the proposal that the authors have actually works and works pretty well. And here we can also see that the transformer actually learns to detect the object that it is trying to classify, and not the entire image, which is a case which is seen in convolutional neural networks. Finally, in conclusion, we can say that VIT is more computationally efficient and accurate when we use a pre-trained model for of transformers. And the second is that it can actually learn temporal data, and it can capture global dependencies, which give it an edge over the convolutional neural networks and can help us understand context of a data.